Hello everybody, Rally Darkstrike here, and welcome to my first tech video. As you can tell from my other videos on my channel, most of my videos have been about cars and driving, and that is my passion. But technology is also something I quite enjoy, and I've decided I'm going to do a few videos about some tech stuff, especially Linux, which is the operating system I use on my laptop. You can see from this screenshot, of course, that I am a Windows user as well. But in this video I thought I'd take a little bit of time to show you how to create a boot disk for Linux. Because a lot of people have Windows like this, but they like to give Linux a shot. Or with Windows 11 coming out, and meaning that a lot of perfectly good computers are now unable to upgrade to Windows 11 because Microsoft put such strong hardware limitations with the TPM 2.0 requirement and the modern processor requirements. I thought I'd make this video as there's probably a lot of people who might not have the money, especially in this day and age, to afford a brand new computer just to run Windows 11. So Windows 10 is fine until 2025, still supported, but Linux can run on very old hardware and still be perfectly secure with security and bug fixes. So we're going to describe how to get a boot disk. So first thing you want to do, of course, is plug in your boot disk. So for me, I can just plug in my flash drive here, which is an 8 gig stick. Here we are. It's called pink because it's a pink flash drive from a container of 5 different colors. But first thing is you need a flash drive. For Linux, you probably want one that's at least 4 gigabytes. 8 gigs is probably recommended, but 4 gigs is fine. Next thing you have to do is decide on what Linux distribution you want to try. And there are many flavors of Linux out there. I'm not going to go into the details on that. But most people like to try the most popular ones, and there's this handy website called Distro. Linux versions are called distros or distros. And on DistroWatch, over here on the side, they have a list of the most popular Linux distributions. I have a laptop running Linux Mint, which is here, and I also have another laptop running MX Linux, and I like both about equal. There's caveats and negatives to either. It's, again, really down to you trying things as we're going to help you set up a flash disk today and seeing what you like. So you've got to decide which distribution to get first. So for me, say I was going to try MX Linux, as from what you can see here, it's the most popular. So if we go to Google and look up MX Linux, oops, if I don't make any typos there, and head to their website, it's very easy to get because you just come here and there's a big download button right there in the middle. And you can either download it from, when we click on the link here, download it as an actual ISO file, which is what's downloading now. See, ISO file directly, or some sites have torrent links, and not everyone uses torrent links anymore, but they're a nice quick way to download things through peer-to-peer networks that are perfectly safe because it's hosted by MX first, and then all these peers are hosting the same disks. So you first get the disk that you want. The next thing is you need a piece of software that's actually going to image the disk. So I like to use one called Unetbootin, which is this one here. And there's many other ones too. Balena Etcher is another one. Rufus is another one. There's several. So it really doesn't matter which one you use, but I just like this one because you can download it and run it without installing it. So we're going to download that. I'm just going to put it on the desktop. And I already have a disk for MX Linux on my hard drive here. So we're going to open Unetbootin. And it's pretty straightforward. Unetbootin will actually connect to and download distributions for you. So you could select what distribution you'd like and what version of it if you wanted Unetbootin to do the work. I usually just download the disk myself. So we're going to say disk image. ISO, because that's what we have. And we're going to click this button, so that's in my downloads folder. So we choose our disk, 64-bit MX Linux in my case, and then we just say open. It will ask us which flash drive we want to use. It won't show any other drives, which is nice, unless you select hard disk. So I have it set to USB disk. It's drive F, and just to double check, I can go back to this PC, and here's my flash drive, make sure it says drive F, which it does, and that's pretty much it. I can just hit OK, and then I wait. And in several minutes, usually like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, my disk will be done. And then I can take it to my computer of choice. And after you plug it into your computer of choice, you need to find out what key your laptop or desktop uses to enter the boot menu. So just after you turn it on, you would tap that key repeatedly after you see the logo for your brand of computer, and it will let you select the disk to start up with. So we're going to let this finish, and then I'll show you that. So check back in a minute or two. Alright, we're back, and our disk is complete. So the next step is to take it to our computer that we would like to boot with Linux from the flash drive and plug it in and use the boot menu to select it. So let's go do that now. Alright, we're back. This is my test rig, and as you can see, we've got my nice bright pink flash drive that we just put MX Linux on installed in there. So we're going to hit our power button, boot up our computer, and then immediately start hitting the boot menu button to select which drive we'd like to boot with. And I'm pretty sure on this one it's F12. It is loading boot menu. So here's our boot menu. Windows Boot Manager would be the Windows 10 loader that's on the installed hard drive, and General UDisk Partition 1 would be our flash drive, because it's the only other thing in the list. So we're going to select that and hit enter, and it's loading. As you can see, my drive was flickering down there. Here's the MX Linux boot menu, so we're just going to select the top boot option, and if we hadn't done anything it actually would have booted anyway, but we're just going to press that and we're going to wait. It's loading, and there's our light lit up on our flash drive because it's booting from the flash drive. Flickering away down there, and it does take a second to load off of a flash drive, but considering MX Linux is actually very light in resources, it doesn't take very long at all. So we're just waiting for this to load up, and soon we'll be sitting at a nice fresh Linux desktop ready to tinker with and play around with. And there'll be a welcome screen that comes up as well. There we go. So that's it, and we can play around with that. We can see how things work. MX Linux tends to have this taskbar on the side, but it can be moved. There's no installing of drivers on Linux because everything generally just works. So, I mean, I can select my Wi-Fi menu, and it's got the local networks in the area already visible because it's already found it. We've got our sound automatically working. So yeah. And any other distro that you decide to try would be pretty much the exact same process. So get out there, make yourselves some boot disks, give Linux a try, and yeah, hopefully you'll like it and you'll decide to give it a go and use it daily. But that'll be it for this video. We'll see what I come up with for the next one. And thanks for watching. Have a good one.